Trump's Presidential Business Playbook Pro Max. You know that since Donald Trump returned to the White House, his personal wealth has nearly tripled in a little over a year. From roughly 2,3 milyar, it has surged to about 6,5 milyar, making him the most profitable president in American history. In that short span, he has earned more than he accumulated over the previous half-century. During his first term, the political spotlight was intense, yet commercially, it was a serious setback. His core assets, Manhattan office towers, luxury hotels, and high-end golf clubs, were concentrated in Democratic strongholds such as New York, California, and Chicago. Many of his customers actively disliked him, and some building owners even voted to remove the golden Trump lettering. After leaving office, the damage deepened. Following the January 6 events, he was effectively canceled in business circles. Social media accounts banned, partnerships ended, banks cut off credit. Even Deutsche Bank, his longtime lender, walked away. Lawsuits piled on. A civil sexual assault case resulted in judgments totaling more than 88 million. New York fraud case produced a 355 million penalty. He eventually posted 175 million while appealing. His net worth was cut roughly in half. At nearly 80 years old, he had hit rock bottom. That low point forced a complete rethink. Trump concluded that his most valuable asset had always been his name, his personal IP. Two identical hotels, one with the Trump brand and one without, could command a 30% price premium. That premium was pure profit. In the 2000s, he had already begun licensing the name worldwide and selling everything from ties and steaks to vodka and Trump University. The tahun 2004 reality show The Apprentice cemented the brand. By tahun 2016, his fortune stood at around 4,5 milyar. The new playbook kept the IP at the center but discarded restraint. The result is a far more aggressive, multi-channel monetization strategy. According to Trump's detailed 2025 financial disclosure, more than 900 pages, his total income that year reached 2,21 milyar. Traditional real estate rents, management fees, book royalties, and merchandise accounted for only a little over 100 million, almost negligible. The rest came from four major news streams. First, private clubs. Membership at Mar-a-Lago and related golf resorts had been about 100,000 before the first term. By the second term, it had risen to 1 million. In tahun 2025, Mar-a-Lago alone generated 77,5 million. The adjacent golf resort brought in another 120 million. Across all clubs and resorts, the total was 485 million. Access to the president himself had turned these venues into highly valuable networking hubs, and the fees are expected to keep rising. Second, litigation as revenue. Trump filed suit against platforms and media outlets that had banned or criticized him. Most settled, YouTube paid 22 million, Meta 24,5 million, and others brought the total to 86,5 million, with more cases still pending. Meanwhile, after he returned to office, a New York appeals court overturned the massive fraud penalty, relieving him of the obligation to pay. Third, capital market maneuvers. After being deplatformed, he launched Truth Social. In March 2024, its parent company went public via a SPAC under the ticker DJT. The market capitalization briefly exceeded 9 billion, even though the company's actual revenue was tiny, only 870,000. In the first quarter of 2026, while it posted a 400 million loss, largely from buying nearly 10,000 Bitcoin near the peak. The real value was the ticker itself and the more than $2 billion raised. His sons later floated another shell company, New America, raising 300 million. Conservatively, these listings added at least 1,2 miliar to family wealth. The biggest external client has been the Middle East. In Mei tahun 2025, Qatar gifted 400 million Boeing 747, Meta 24,5 million, and others brought the total to 86,5 million, with more cases still pending. Meanwhile, after he returned to office, a New York appeals court overturned the massive fraud penalty, relieving him of the obligation to pay. Third, capital market maneuvers. After being deplatformed, he launched Truth Social. In March 2024, its parent company went public via a SPAC under the ticker DJT. The market capitalization briefly exceeded 9 billion, even though the company's actual revenue was tiny, only 870,000 in the first quarter of 2026, while it posted a 400 million loss, largely from buying nearly 10,000 Bitcoin near the peak. The real value was the ticker itself and the more than 2 billion raised. His sons later floated another shell company, New America, raising 300 million. Conservatively, these listings added at least 1,2 miliar to family wealth. The biggest external client has been the Middle East. In Mei tahun 2025, Qatar gifted 400 million Boeing 747, ultimately destined for Trump's foundation. Trump Organization projects in the region, Qatar Gulf Resorts, Saudi Trump Towers, a 7 billion Saudi new city development, Dubai and Oman. Resorts total an estimated 10-20 billion in branding and management fees with almost no capital outlay. Saudi Arabia's sovereign fund invested 2 billion in Jared Kushner's private equity firm. Qatar and Abu Dhabi followed with another 1.5 miliar. The single largest income source, however, has been cryptocurrency, roughly two-thirds of the disclosed 2025 total and almost certainly more in practice. Trump had once dismissed Bitcoin as a scam. Starting in 2024, he reversed course completely. His family created World Liberty Financial. In March tahun 2025, it launched the stablecoin $1 Amerika. The issuer keeps the interest earned on the reserves. After an initial 100 million plus circulation, a single $2 billion investment from the UAE's MGX fund pushed the supply higher. Stablecoin-related income for tahun 2025 reached 197 million. The same company issued a governance token, WLFI. 75% of token sale proceeds went to the Trump family, plus equity sales, generating 590 million in 2025. The token's market value later fell by 3/4 from its peak. The purest play was the Trump meme coin, launched on January 17, 2025, 3 days before inauguration. It opened near 1, spiked to 75 after Trump's own promotional posts. Then Melania issued her own coin. A private dinner was held for the top 220 holders. Justin's son reportedly spent over 100 million across the family tokens. The Trump coin later dropped 97% from its high. Yet the family's 2025 cash income from it alone was 635 million. Combined, the three crypto lines delivered about 1.4 miliar in real cash, 3 times the revenue of all the hotels, clubs, and resorts put together. Is any of this legal? Certain overseers, SEC and FBI, leadership appointed by Trump, have shown little appetite for aggressive enforcement. More fundamentally, U.S. law contains deliberate exemptions. The conflict of interest statute does not apply to the president or vice president. The stablecoin legislation Trump signed contains a similar carve-out. Meme coins sit in a regulatory gray zone and are not treated as securities. The traditional restrain mechanism has been mandatory disclosure under the Ethics in Government Act, full public reporting of assets, income, and trades. Sunlight is the best disinfectant, as Justice Brandeis put it. Previous presidents largely self-constrained once their finances were public. Trump has treated the same sunlight as a protective shield, conducting the deals openly and facing limited political consequence so far. In little more than a year, the combination of club memberships, litigation settlements, capital raises, Middle Eastern deals, and especially cryptocurrency, has allowed an 80-year-old former real estate developer to generate more wealth than in his entire prior career. Whether the model survives future scrutiny remains an open question, but the numbers are already historic.